Hey, how's it going? I'm Kylie.
And I'm Kendra.
And this is our video for integration of design
and performance.
2023.
Yeah. We decided to talk about Breaking Bad Season 2, Episode 1, which takes place at Skylar's house in the living room, and it's a scene between Hank and Skylar, and they're talking about her sister Marie's shoplifting issues.
So we decided that we wanted to change it to, it's going to still be in Skylar's house, but we wanted to do it in the nursery because actually in the beginning of the original scene, Skylar's already in the nursery. And she's sitting on the floor looking at pictures. So we thought it would be interesting if Hank just kind of showed up to the house, like maybe he has a key, maybe it was unlocked, and just kind of invades that sacred space of Skylar's, because she does mention later in the scene that it is like a surprise baby, but Kendra and I both agreed that this baby is like really important to her.
We agreed that the nursery is like a sacred space almost for Skylar, and that she kind of views it as like a symbol of like hope and like new beginnings for her and her husband. She obviously wants this to be a positive space. She doesn't want to bring any bad things or negativity into it because this is the environment that her baby is going to be raised in, and obviously she wants to protect that space and protect her baby.
Yeah. I think you can tell in the clip that the screenshot will insert of the nursery, and if we look at other images of the house, I'm pretty sure it's the most like colorful room. It has like the bright colors, it has the stuffed animals, it's very much like a child's room. I mean, obviously, but it's kind of like the only room in the house that I feel like if you were to walk into, you would instantly maybe feel better, maybe feel cheerier. And so because of what happens in this scene with Skylar's breakdown, bringing that negativity into such a colorful environment is kind of like a strong message I think we both kind of agreed with.
As the scene continues, Skylar begins to list all of the bad things that has been kind of building up in her life. You know, their house is falling apart in certain areas, or their stress with money, and Walt being sick, and just everything bad that's kind of been happening, which we think kind of is her like kind of involuntarily bringing all of that negativity into this space, which we think would be an interesting dynamic since, as we said, Skylar views this space as such a important thing that she needs to protect.
And the husband with lung cancer, who disappears for hours on end, and I don't know where he goes, and he barely even speaks to me anymore. With the moody son, who does the same thing. And the overdrawn checking account, and the lukewarm water heater that leaks rusty-looking crap and is rotting out the floor of the utility closet, and we can't even afford to fix it. But oh, I see. Now I'm supposed to go, Hank. Please, what can I possibly do to further benefit my spoiled, kleptomaniac bitch sister who somehow always manages to be the center of attention?
I think this breakdown also stems from a long history of like sister rivalry between Skylar and Marie, because she actually references her being like the center of attention, and with Skylar being not, she's 40 and having a baby, she's emotionally vulnerable, and so the fact that her brother-in-law, who's supposed to be her family and supporting her, is asking for her to support her sister, when it's like for Skylar it probably feels like no matter what Skylar's going through, it's constantly about Marie.
As far as other design elements within the scene, like lighting, the scene originally takes place kind of towards the end of the day when the sun is starting to set. It's still sunny outside, but it's getting gloomier, and we think that lighting serves the scene, and we think in the nursery, like the window would be open so that the sunlight was really prominent, shining through the window, and then as the conversation continues and gets more negative, the sun is starting to set, so the darkness is coming in through the window instead of the sunlight, which we think is very symbolic of, as we talked about, the negativity entering this space that Skylar wants to protect and keep positive for her future child.
Yeah, I think lighting is probably the biggest thing we'd change, and it's not even that big of a change because we'd want to keep the costumes the same. What they're wearing it doesn't, because our main focus is the idea of bringing negativity into this otherwise positive environment, which is our main focus. So sound too, no music, no outside sound, except for maybe, I mean, if there's a bird, you hear a bird, but like, you know, but like other than that, like the silence, I feel like we both felt like it would contribute to how much of a breakdown this is for Skylar, because it really is a prominent moment for her and her character, and it's like it's at the end of the first episode of the second season, so I feel like that with these lighting choices too, it could kind of leave the audience on that like edge of their seat type of feel, like this, like, yeah, this family is like falling apart, you know. So that's what we came up with. We had a lot of fun trying to decide what scene we would do. It was kind of interesting to think about for me anyway, to think about theater in this way. So I want to thank the professors for this fun little project, because definitely looking back, I consider myself to be predominantly an actor. So to look at theater from a different scope has been very interesting, because I notice myself looking at, when I watch TV shows and movies, I look at the set design, I listen to the sounds, I notice the lighting, as opposed to before it was all about the acting for me. So that's something I thought was really cool, and I'm looking forward to using that in my future theater works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for watching.